Globalization of consumer commodities and media has brought about an interconnected style of life in urban and rural areas around the world. The paper or plastic question, which I encountered around the world in supermarkets and grocery stores, is a question which is now becoming of great concern amongst the people. I have traveled in many countries and have come across volumes of literature on environmental concerns. After living here in our or after living in the here in this country for quite some time, I have realized that many friends here and community members are concerned about the high amount of solid waste management. My little knowledge on the environmental concerns has convinced me to talk to my community about the idea of neither paper nor plastic. I sometimes call this idea my slogan, and I want to put it in front of you all to think about adopting it. According to the studies done by green NGOs in developing and developed countries, the cost of solid waste management is very high, economically and health-wise. In our daily lives, as the first drop of rain, we start using reusable fabric shopping bags. It would make us think of reducing our use of large numbers of these bags, these plastic and paper bags, which cause harm to our environment. Recently, I've come across an interesting article by Decker and Garf, who have argued that I quote here, in our era of ecological and environmental awakening, the question of paper versus plastic bags should be taken and considered seriously. It is a question of environmental impact, and it should be the responsibility of all of us to act upon it. Here I want to mention another interesting observation by Larry West, another famous green activist. He, in his article, explains that there are a lot of other choices available than just using paper and plastic bags. Reusable fabric bags are one of the best options available. I want to motivate my community to start using reusable fabric shopping bags and become part of the movement to reduce consumption of paper plastic bags for a healthy environment. According to the demand and supply principle of economics, reusable shopping bags would minimize demand of paper plastic bags, and it would slowly reduce the supply. Consumers get convenience in using readily available paper or plastic bags. This convenience should be discouraged, and we should tell members in our community not to use these bags and explain to them the harmful effects. As an individual member of our neighborhood community, we can think of making deep impact by keeping our environment pollutions free and helping our children to breathe clean air. It would also save the cost for supermarkets for the paper and plastic bags they produce. Today, the American nation tops the list of countries which produce the most amount of solid waste. Isla Kushner, in her article, who is a social activist, says that it explains about the harmful effects in her article, and she also quotes the Hallowelly World Watch, which states that no one knows exactly how many bags Americans throw away, but it is easily in millions. She further writes, the paper bag is a mass commodity product and is dying because of the costs involved. We must not also depend too much on recycling strategies, because recycling itself is very costly and it also has harmful effects on our environment. When goods are recycled, they have both environmental effects, and the cost is very high. There is a saying that to remain silent and inactive in an ethical or social crisis is an immoral act. History bears testimony that an act of silence and inaction has brought much bigger and dangerous crises in human societies. We must act upon this issue ourselves. We must not solely depend on politicians and government officials to pass legislations. We should educate people around us and emphasize upon them to not use paper and plastic bags. And if we do these things slowly and steadily, we will see change in our community. If we act united in our country and popularize culture of carrying a reusable fabric bag rather than buying plastic or paper bags, would really help save our environment. There are great benefits of avoiding to use paper and plastic bags. Firstly, refusing paper plastic bags would become environment. By refusing paper and plastic bags, we would ourselves become environmental activists and save our younger generations from the hazards of environmental pollution. We will be helping to bring down consumer item prices in supermarkets, and we will be helping the city government budget to save money on their solid waste management and use it in other important areas like education. While concluding my speech, I would request you to say no to paper or plastic bags. Do not wait for legislation of banning paper or plastic. Individual action is needed. Let us act today. Our children will benefit from this tomorrow. Napoleon once said that there is no word called impossible in my dictionary. Let us delete the word impossible from our dictionary and act upon this environmental issue in our society and conserve the future for our children. Thanks a lot for your participation in this speech. Thank you.